بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الطيبين الطاهرين. نسأل الله تبارك وتعالى أن يرزقنا حسن النية. We ask Allah to grant us the sincere intentions for His sake alone. قال المصنف رحمه الله تعالى: والإيمان بالرؤية لله تعالى بالعين في الآخرة بأنها حق، وهذا خاص بالمؤمنين يرونه وهم في الجنة بلا كيف ولا تشبيه ولا جهة، كما نص على ذلك الإمام أبو حنيفة رضي الله عنه. So among the matters that follow the second testification of faith, meaning because we believe that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is the messenger of Allah, because we believe that, we must also believe in some matters that follow that, i.e., and they are everything that he taught sallallahu alayhi wasallam of the religious matters. So everything that came by revelation. So among that is now the belief in seeing Allah, the Exalted. So seeing Allah, this is something that will happen in the hereafter, after this life. And this is going to be with the eyes. The people will see with their eyes in the hereafter. We must believe that it is true, that it will occur. And this is exclusively for the believers, the Muslims. They will see Allah while they, the believers, are in paradise. They will see Allah without Allah being attributed with the attributes of the creation. The word kayf is every attribute of the creation. That's what kayf is. So because Allah is not like His creation, we say, because Allah is not like His creation, and kayf just means the creation. So we can say Allah is bila kayf, without kayf. Kayf literally means how. So Allah is without a how, because He is the creator of how. As Al-Imam Ali radiyallahu anhu said, الذي كيف الكيف فلا كيف له. Literally, the one that howed the how, we don't say how about him, meaning the one that made the how, the concept of how, whether it's big or small, whether it's long or short, whether it is smooth or rough, whether it is bright or dull, whether it is hot or cold. All this is modality. All of this is how. Al-Imam Ali radiyallahu anhu said, Inna alladhi kayyafa al-kayf, the one that literally howed the how, the one who made the concept of how, the one who made everything, loud sounds and low sounds and high pitch and all of this Allah created, He is not attributed with it. So Allah is bila kayf. So when it comes to seeing Allah, Allah will not be in a place, just as always and forever. Allah is not in a place because He is the creator of place. Makes sense, doesn't it? Allah, when Allah is seen in the hereafter, Allah will not be at a distance from those that are seeing Him. Allah will not be a shape or a size or a color or a length. Tabaraka wa ta'ala. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. La ilaha illallah, this first testification means Allah is God. Among the attributes of God is to be dissimilar to the creation. Aren't you in a place? Yes. Aren't you at a distance from the door? Yes. Aren't you a certain color? Yes. Aren't you a certain height? Aren't you a certain weight? Yes. All these things do not apply to Allah. He is without weight, without color, without size, without texture, without distance, without place, without time lapsing upon him. All of these things that I just described to you, they are expressed in Arabic as kayf or kayfiyya, how or howness. So Allah will be seen while the people are in a place in paradise, of course, but Allah will not be in paradise. Allah is bila kayf, without a how. ولا تشبيه, and without resembling the creation. ولا جهة, and without being in a direction. As Al-Imam Abu Hanifa explicitly mentioned, رضي الله عنه. أي أنه تعالى لا يكون في جهة ولا مكان، إنما هم في مكانهم في الجنة يرونه رؤية لا يكون عليهم فيها اشتباه، لا يشكون هل الذي رأوه هو الله أو غيره، كما لا يشك مبصر القمر ليلة البدر ليس دونه سحاب أن الذي رآه هو القمر. i.e. he, i.e. Allah, the Exalted, will not be in a direction, and he will not be in a place. Rather, they, the believers, will be in their places in paradise, and they will see Allah. They will see him, literally, they will see him as seeing in which there will be no doubt that are they seeing Allah or other than Allah. There will be no doubt that they are seeing Allah. And there will be no doubt, just as the one who looks at the moon doesn't doubt. This doesn't mean Allah resembles the moon. Rather, we're saying in the same way that the person who looks at the moon, the full moon in the dark of the night, does he doubt, is this the full moon or not? In the same way, a person, when he sees Allah, he will know that this is Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So there is no doubt in the mind or the heart of the seer of the full moon on a night of the full moon when there are no clouds. There is no doubt that he is actually seeing the moon, right? This meaning of comparing the absence of doubt in seeing Allah to the absence of doubt when looking at the full moon, this comparison was drawn by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To reiterate, the Prophet did not say that when you see Allah, it's like looking at the moon. No, such that Allah has a shape and a size and is bright. No, 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 no. Wal'ayadhu billah. All these are insults to Allah, to say that Allah is a shape, whether circular or rectangular, or that Allah is a light. Allah revealed, وَجَعَلَ الظُّلُمَاتِ وَالنُّورِ. Allah is the creator of darkness, and Allah created nur. So it's not permissible for anyone to say that Allah himself is nur. So the Prophet didn't say that Allah is like the moon. No, no, no. Rather, he said, when you look at the moon in the night sky, and the moon is full and there are no clouds, do you doubt whether you are looking at the moon or not? No, you don't doubt. You say, I'm looking at the moon. I know with certainty that I'm looking at the moon. There is no doubt. He said, like that, when the believers see Allah, there will be no doubt that they are seeing Allah. This is taken from ففي ذلك قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إنكم سترون ربكم يوم القيامة كما ترون القمر ليلة البدر لا تضامون في رؤيته رواه مسلم أي لا تتزاحمون في رؤيته وفي رواية لا تضامون أي لا يلحقكم ضرر شبه رؤيتنا له من حيث عدم الشك برؤية القمر ليلة البدر ولم يشبه الله تعالى بالقمر كما زعم بعض الجهال فإن الذي لم يتعلم التوحيد إذا سمع هذا الحديث قد يعتقد أن الله يشبه القمر ليلة البدر وقد صرح بعض العوام بذلك. And about that, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, indeed, you will see your Lord. Yawm al-Qiyamah here, this refers to, we understand it to mean in paradise, after the Day of Judgment. Indeed, you will see your Lord. Just as, here the just as is in terms of not doubting. Just as you see the full moon, or the moon on the night of the full moon, you will not, la tadamuna, you will not have to gather, to congest to see him, because he's not in a place. I always give the example here of when you're at school, for example, and there was a fight in the playground, and everybody would rush to see what's going on. Some people, the shorter ones, they would duck underneath to try to see what's going on. The taller ones would be able to see. The ones that were medium-sized would try to jump over the shoulders. You'd see them jumping up and down, trying to see what's happening in the middle. Who is fighting who? This happens when you're trying to look for one thing. When you're trying to look in one direction. Everybody's trying to look in one direction. Like, for example, when you try to kiss the black stone. Ya salam. What? MashaAllah. May Allah protect you. What happens? You see people, you sometimes you see people lunging over you, underneath you, right? Why? Because that center point, that black stone is in a place. People are coming from almost every direction, right? They're crowding, they're pushing, they're elbowing, because the black stone is in one place. It's in a certain place. Allah is not in a place. So there is no crowding. And there is no pushing and shoving. He said, alayhi salatu wasalam, لا تضامون في رؤيته, i.e., you will not need to congest, to gather together to see Allah. And in a narration, لا تضامون, i.e., you will not be harmed when seeing Allah. You will not be harmed. So when you're gathered together, and there's a crime scene sometimes, a huge crime's occurred. Somebody's been, I don't know, someone's house has been robbed or something, and everybody's trying to have a look. Everybody's trying to see, right? You might get an elbow in the face, right? Goodbye front two teeth, for example. You might, I don't know, you might get smacked in the eye, accidentally, of course. Everyone's trying to have a look because, they need to look. They have to see. They haven't walked all the way from the house just not to see. So, the Prophet ﷺ said, La tudamuna, you won't be harmed. Why? Because there's nobody elbowing. There's nobody, gathering around to look into a certain direction at a certain spot in a certain place, because Allah is not in a place, tabaraka wa ta'ala. There is not going to be a distance between the seers, those that see Allah, the believers, and between Allah, because Allah is not in a place. Okay? You look at the sayings of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and you think, wow, mashallah. All the rules are there. They're all in his speech. Look at that. Why else would he say, لا تضامون في رؤيته? You won't need to be, you won't need to gather together and all be tight and be uncomfortable. And why? Because Allah is without a place. Subhanallah. So the Prophet compared us seeing Allah in terms of not doubting. He compared it to seeing the moon. Sorry, seeing the moon, Laylat al-Badr, on the night of the full moon. And he did not liken Allah to the moon, no, as some ignoramuses claimed, or ignoramai claimed. For indeed, the one that does not learn about the uniqueness of Allah, at-Tawheed, the one who does not learn that Allah is free of being like the creation, if he hears this hadith, he might believe that Allah resembles the moon on the night that it is full. And indeed, some laymen, some ruwaybidat, some laymen, they explicitly express this, that they believe this, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, which is kufr. Subhanallah. والإيمان بالخلود فيهما فيجب الإيمان بأن أهل الجنة يخلدون في الجنة وأهل النار يخلدون فيها وأنه لا موت بعد ذلك. We are obligated to believe that there will be everlasting residence within paradise and hellfire. So it is an obligation to believe that the people of paradise will reside everlastingly in paradise, and that the people of hell, those kuffar, of course, they will reside in it forever, and that there is no death after that. Of course, the exception here is with the people, the Muslims who enter hell. They will come out of hell and then they will be admitted into paradise where they will reside perpetually. والإيمان بملائكة الله أي بوجودهم وأنهم عباد مكرمون وهم أجسام نورانية لطيفة ألطف من الهواء ذو أرواح مشرفة ليسوا ذكورا ولا إناثا لا يأكلون ولا يشربون ولا ينامون ولا يتوالدون مكلفون لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. And to believe in the angels of Allah, i.e., to believe that they exist and that they are honorable slaves of Allah and that they are bodies, meaning they have a size and a shape. They are illuminated bodies. Ajsamun nuraniya. I was going to say nuranic. They are ajsamun nuraniya. Luminous, that's the word, subhanallah. Luminous bodies that are impalpable. They are lighter than the air. They possess souls, honorable, musharrafa, honorable souls. And they are neither male nor female. They do not eat, they do not drink, they do not sleep, and they do not reproduce. They do not copulate, they do not reproduce. They are accountable and they do not disobey Allah in what He orders them, and they do whatever they are ordered. Allah, Allah, MashaAllah. والإيمان برسله أي أنبيائه من كان رسولا ومن لم يكن رسولا. And we must believe in the messengers, i.e., all those that were sent. Here, when the Shaykh said بِرُسُلِهِ, to believe in the messengers, this is a generic term that includes everyone that Allah sent. Okay? So every one of them in this sense is a messenger. Okay? لأن الذي يرسل يكون رسولا فالله أرسل الأنبياء الله أرسل رجالا بالوحي. Every one of them linguistically is a Rasul. Okay? So it says here, you must believe in the messengers, i.e., all the prophets. They were all sent, so they were all linguistically messengers, right? Whoever among them was a messenger, according to the terminology of belief, okay? Whoever was a messenger, and we'll clarify soon what the difference is, whoever was a Rasul, a messenger, and whoever was not a messenger, right? So, فالنبي غير الرسول هو إنسان أوحي إليه لا بشرع جديد بل أوحي إليه باتباع شرع الرسول الذي قبله وأن يبلغ ذلك وأن يبلغ ذلك. So, a prophet who is not a messenger, i.e., a Nabi, who is not a Rasul, is a human, so not a jinn or an angel, and a male, who received revelation, but not with any new law, not new legislation, but but it was revealed to him to follow the religious law, the legislation that was revealed to the messenger before him. And he was ordered to convey that. As for نعم والنبي الرسول من أوحي إليه بشرع جديد وأمر بتبليغه. As for a prophet who was also a messenger, then it's someone obviously who has received revelation. That's every prophet. But this is one to whom a new set of laws, or even one law, was revealed that was new, different to the messenger before. And he was ordered to convey it to the people. Every prophet was ordered to convey, and every prophet conveyed also. There was no prophet sent to himself. There was no person who was a prophet who was ordered just to be a prophet, but to stay in his cottage all his life and not go out to the people and just to be his own prophet. No, 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 no. Every prophet was ordered to convey, and they did. ومن الغلط الشنيع ما ذكره بعض العلماء أن النبي من أوحي إليه بشرع ولم يؤمر بتبليغه وهذا كلام شنيع. كيف ينبأ ثم لا يؤمر بالتبليغ؟ وكيف يصح أن ينبأ النبي لنفسه فقط؟ فما أشنع هذه الغلطة. وهذه الغلطة موجودة في تفسير الجلالين وفي كتب عديدة. So, and among the extremely bad mistakes is what some scholars mentioned. So they were mistaken in this, horribly wrong. They claimed that a prophet is someone to whom, or someone who receives revelation, but is not ordered to convey it. Sheikh Abdullah said, this speech, this what they said, this is awful speech. How would someone receive prophethood, then not be ordered to convey it? How would it be valid for a prophet to be given prophethood for himself only? It doesn't make sense. What a bad mistake this is. And this mistake is present in a book known as Tafsir al-Jalalain. Tafsir al-Jalalain. Jalaluddin al-Mahalli and Jalaluddin al-Suyuti, these two Jalals, they were known as Jalal. There, there is a tafsir, an exegesis, an explanation of the Quran that is attributed to the both of them. And it's known as Tafsir al-Jalalain, the tafsir of the two Jalals, Jalaluddin al-Suyuti and Jalaluddin al-Mahalli. So in that there are some mistakes. One of those mistakes is this one, where it's said that a prophet may receive prophethood, but then he's not ordered to convey it. That amounts to saying that there was a man who was told, you're a prophet, but then he lived all by himself, or he stayed in his cottage all his life, not conveying the religious rules to anybody. Just he's sent as a prophet to himself for himself. That doesn't make any sense. The whole job of a prophet is to convey. So this mistake is mentioned in this book and many other books. وأول من أرسل إلى الكفار سيدنا نوح عليه السلام. And the first person among the prophets who was sent to a group of non-Muslims was our master Nuh alayhi salam. So he was the first messenger to the non-Muslims. As for who was the first messenger, absolutely, that was Adam alayhi salam. Remember, a messenger is a prophet who receives new laws. So Adam alayhi salam was the first. Every law was new. So Adam alayhi salam was the first messenger and the first prophet. And Nuh alayhi salam was the first messenger to the kuffar. Why is that? Well, Adam alayhi salam was sent to his children. And then Seth was sent, and all his children were Muslims, even Habil and Qabil. Even Qabil was a Muslim. Cain and Abel. Cain is the one that killed Abel, right? But they were both Muslims. And everybody, after the death of Adam alayhi salam, in the time of his son Sheeth, the prophet, everybody was a Muslim. Likewise, in the time of Idris alayhi salam, everybody was a Muslim whilst he was alive. Then, after he died, people started to commit kufr on earth among the humans. So after that, Nuh alayhi salam was sent to the people. The people he was sent to a group of kuffar to call them to al-Islam. So he was not the first messenger, absolutely, but he was the first messenger with respect to this situation, i.e., the first messenger sent to the kuffar. عليه السلام. وقد صح أنه أول الرسل إلى أهل الأرض أي بعد حدوث الكفر بين البشر. آمنت بالله ورسوله محمد. All of the prophets, every single one of them is a prophet. 313 of them were messengers. So every single prophet is a Nabi. And so there are about 124,000 of them. From these 124,000, there were 313 messengers that received new laws. The first of the messengers being Adam alayhi salam, and the last of them being Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. Among the messengers were Seth alayhi salam, likewise Noah alayhi salam, likewise Ibrahim, likewise Musa, likewise Isa, likewise Yaqub alayhi salam. These were the messengers of Allah. Right? So here, Nuh alayhi salam, it is valid to say about him that he was the first messenger to the people of earth, i.e., after kufr had occurred between them, between the people. وليس معناه أنه لم يكن قبله نبي ولا رسول بل كان آدم نبيا رسولا. And it doesn't mean that there was no prophet or messenger before Noah. No, because Adam, he was a prophet and a messenger. كما يشهد لنبوته حديث الترمذي. Adam was a prophet and a messenger, as is a witness to that the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, narrated by At-Tirmidhi. He said, وَمَا مِن نَبِيٍّ يَوْمَئِذٍ آدَمُ فَمَنْ سِوَاهُ إِلَّا تَحْتَ لِوَائِي. Adam, it says, the Prophet said alayhi salatu wasalam, there will be no prophet on the day of judgment from Adam and whoever is after him chronologically, except that they will be under my banner on the day of judgment. حسنه الترمذي. الترمذي classed this as a strong hadith. وأجمع المسلمون على ذلك وعرف هذا الأمر بينهم بالضرورة فمن نفى نبوته فهو كافر بالإجماع كما في مراتب الإجماع. This is a matter of consensus among the Muslims on the fact that Adam alayhi salam was a prophet and a messenger. And this is known by necessity, something very known. So whoever denies the prophethood of Adam, this person is a kafir, by consensus. As is mentioned in the book Maratib al-Ijma'. فالذي يشك في نبوة آدم أو في كفر الشاك فيها كافر والذي يشك في رسالته أيضا كافر. So it's known amongst the Muslims, isn't it, that Adam alayhi salam is a prophet, that Adam alayhi salam is a messenger. This is known. This is known, just like it's known that Dhuhr is one of the 5 obligatory prayers, or that Al-Fajr is one of the 5 obligatory prayers. It's known, isn't it, by necessity? It's known. So after knowing that all the Muslims say this, and that this is the stance of the Muslims, and after hearing hadiths and things like that, whoever doubts then about the prophethood of Adam, this is kufr. How? Like to say, oh well, Adam was just like a man. He was just a man who didn't get revelation from God. He was just a man, and that's it. Who experienced life, and he made I don't know, he achieved so much, but he wasn't a prophet. A'udhu billah, kufr. Or whoever doubts about the one that doubts, this person is also a kafir. And likewise, whoever doubts about the messengership, al-risala, of Adam alayhi salam, he is also a kafir. It's known. Who doesn't know Adam alayhi salam is a prophet? Who doesn't know that? وَالْإِيمَانُ بِالْكُتُبِ, and the belief in the books. وهي كثيرة لكن أشهرها هؤلاء الأربع. And there are many books that Allah sent. There are 104 actually. And they are many. The most famous among them are these 4: التوراة والإنجيل والزبور والفرقان. They are the original Torah in the Hebrew language. والإنجيل, the original gospel, the original, if you will, Bible in the Syriac language. والزبور, the Psalms, also in the Hebrew language. والفرقان, i.e. the Quran, which is in the Arabic language. بلسان عربي مبين, in a very clear Arabic tongue. قال وهب بن منبه. وهب بن منبه, let's have a look. He embraced al-Islam, Wahb ibn Munabbih, but he did not meet the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Wahb ibn Munabbih said, قرأت 70 كتابا مما أنزل الله. He said, I read 70 books that Allah revealed. 70 books that Allah revealed. Allahu Akbar. In the time of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, you know, the Torah, the original Torah, was still preserved. It hadn't changed yet. The Jews had the original Torah, but they verbally started to make things up, change the judgments that were in the Torah. It says one thing in the Torah, which is what was revealed to Musa and Harun, alayhim as-salam, the brother prophets. And even though maybe 2,000 years had passed upon the passing of Musa and Harun, alayhim as-salam, they still had preserved with them in the time of Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam, the original Torah, except that they would verbally change it. And then it's later on that they fabricated and concocted and changed the Torah. And like this, there would have been many books, of course, that had not been yet changed and that were given to the prophets. In total, there were 104. Wahab said, I read 70 books that were revealed to the prophets. And well, Qadr, I think we'll stop here today. MashaAllah. I think we will stop here today. Barakallahu feekum. If we can say La ilaha illallah and as-salah ala nabi. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. If anybody has a question or something that needs clarifying, then go ahead. Go ahead, inshallah.